Hello and welcome to Longship Gaming. Today we are playing Marvel Champions. It is going to be Colossus from the Mutant Genesis expansion set and Project WIDEAWAKE, which is Sentinels, and more Sentinels, also from Mutant Genesis. Colossus here is one of my all-time favorite X-Men. In fact, Kitty Pryde was as well. I don't know if I mentioned that in the video I did of her versus Sabretooth. And conveniently enough, this MCP model here has Colossus stomping on the face of a Sentinel, holding aloft its ripped off arm. Hopefully that's exactly the way that this game goes. But we'll see. As usual, I went to the Marvel Champions database, had a look at the available decks, decided I wanted to play Protection, and found this deck. There is only one modification. It's the addition of a 41st card. And it works very well with this particular scenario. And I'll explain why in a moment. So, as I said, it's Protection. And we want to use as many X-Men as possible. So we have Polaris, which is great because it gives him a tough card, which he loves to have. Nightcrawler, which just it can ignore damage. We have a lot of events, though. We have 3 copies of Perseverance, so when we change form, we gain a tough card, which, again, with Colossus is great because he can have 2. And you always want to sort of keep him with as many as possible because so many of his cards actually work with that. We have Powerful Punch. So you're going to see it's this card and Hard Knocks here. So they line up very well this scenario. There are many Sentinels that come out, minions, that are between, 2 and 6 hit points. It lines up very well with his base 2 attack, to also be able to strip off any tough that's out there, because there's a fair amount of tough. But 4 is great, so Powerful Punch is a newer card. Interrupt attack defense. When an enemy initiates an attack, deal 4 damage to the enemy. And since a lot of the time, Colossus is going to get punched to just to tough it out every time. This is very good to sort of return that damage without having to actually bow the character. Hard Knocks also lines up very well. So again, hero action. It's 4 damage, kind of costly at 3. If that damage is defeated by the attack, give your hero a tough status card, which is, again, a thing that we like. And 4 damages, it's nothing to sneeze at. Then we have 3 copies of Bait and Switch. It's a thwart. The villain attacks you, remove 4 threat from the main scheme. Really, other than using allies, probably the best way to get rid of threat off of these schemes, of which, as you can see, there are very many. And Subdue. Subdue doesn't get played very much, but it might here. We'll see. It's also good to fuel for energy resources, and I'll explain why in a moment. Hero Interrupt. When an enemy initiates an attack, that enemy gets -3 for that attack, which basically makes the main Sentinel here just kind of blanks their attacks, but also is pretty good when dealing with any of the minions that are out. And, of course, 2 copies of Power Protection. So, for our basic cards, we have Professor X. Never leave home without him these days. Thwart of 3 is very powerful. After he comes into play, choose 1. Confuse the villain, stun a minion, or ready an X-Men character. All of which are very useful. Shadow and Steel, it's in here to prevent any damage from the attack and deal 4 damage in return. That's, of course, if we have Shadowcat out at the time. So she's our signature ally. The X-Jet for resources. This is our 41st card. So in my initial test plays of this, I didn't include Utopia, and I realized afterwards I would be foolish not to. Not only do you have... So you've got 4 allies in the deck. You're going to be gaining them with abduction protocols. When you defeat abduction protocols, you get 1 random set aside X-Man, who's in here. And Mutants at the Mall is how you get Jubilee. So that's 5 more. And considering that they come into play for free when you free them after they've been abducted, that basically just gives you, using Utopia, a free ready of your character, which is pretty valuable. So that's our 41st. And of course, Energy, Genius, and Strength with the new art, of course. To go over the scenario, we're playing an expert, of course. So the Sentinel, who I guess represents all Sentinels because there's so many Sentinels in Project Wide Awake. 18 health on stage 2, schema 2, attack of 3, has steady and toughness. So there aren't very many ways to get effective stuns. There's Steel Fist, I think that's what it's called, in his main deck, which requires that you expend, that we expend one of our tough cards to stun and confuse the enemy. So we have 2 of those in there. And Professor X can confuse, and I think that's really about it. At most, we're going to get 1 opportunity to actually stun the Sentinel on stage 2. On stage 3 has Stalwart, so you're never going to be able to. And you might get 2 confuses off, maybe if you're lucky. But we're not really relying on that. We're just relying on our tough cards to be able to weather that storm, and very rarely flip over to alter ego. And I'll explain why that can be so dangerous. So as I said, he comes in as tough. So the first player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a copy of the abduction protocols, which is out there already, and puts them to play. And deal each other player a face down encounter card. So we don't have to do it because we're playing solo. So yeah, intimidating here at the start that we have 4 schemes out already. So there's technically 2 main schemes, but 1 is considered a side scheme. So looking at the main one, Knight of the Sentinels, Operation Zero Tolerance gains permanent, which is this one here. And on the setup on the other side, it says to put this one out. And Mutants at the Mall. After the threat is placed here, if there's at least 5 threat, the first player places the top card of their deck face down under Operation Zero Tolerance, then remove 5 threat. So it starts on 1, and as you can see here, it's already accelerating right off the bat. This is dangerous, and when we get to Operation Zero Tolerance, I'll point out why. Mutants at the Mall. When defeated, the first player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Sentinel minion and reveals it. Flip this card and put Jubilee into play, discarding any other version of Jubilee in play. So we currently have accelerating. It's on 4. So we're basically a bit different from abduction protocols. We're saving Jubilee for when she took her trip to the mall and it got attacked by Sentinels. Just to pull her out and show what she can do. So she's a thwart of 1, attack of 1. Victory. So she's a victory card character. She costs nothing. So that means what happens is when she leaves play, she's going to basically leave the game. But ideally, it says the first player controls Jubilee. She does not count towards your ally limit. Action, exhaust Jubilee and spend 1 energy resource. Remember what I was saying, we have so many energy resources. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. So she can just be kept kicking around. Maybe get a thwart or an attack out of her. And then hopefully keep her in play and have the resources just to keep doing that 2 damage to plink away. Because if she leaves play, due to her consequential damage or for whatever reason, she's gone for good. But you also don't want any of your allies to... you don't want any cards to go under Zero Tolerance from here, from the top of your deck. Operation Zero Tolerance, forced response after an enemy attacks and defeats an ally, place that ally face down under the scheme. If there are X face down cards under the scheme, players lose the game. X is 3 or more the number of players. Or sorry, not 3 or more, 3 more than. So we have 4, essentially. So we have a ticking time bomb here. We never want to use our allies to block, ever, because they're just automatically going to get snatched up by the Sentinels, and we're never going to see them again, because you can thwart this all you want, but it's never going away because it's permanent. It's just always going to be there. it can be a close thing sometimes in this scenario. And then on top of that, our fourth one that starts in play, Abduction Protocols, Hinder 2. It is a victory card as well, so it will go when we defeat it. When defeated, the player who defeated the scheme takes one random set aside captive ally and puts it into play under their control. And of course, it's a crisis. So right off the bat, we are solidly behind the 8 ball in this scenario. But it is, I found, crucial to get rid of this and this as quickly as possible. I mean, the acceleration is bad enough. Luckily, you know, Colossus can take a lot of hits from tough. But yes, you have to spend a lot of time thwarting. He's only got a thwart of 1. We'll go over that in a minute. There's a way to get into 2 with one of his cards, but you're relying heavily on either bait and switch or having your allies do a lot of the heavy lifting. You're always going to be getting the maximum you can out of your allies, but you're never going to have them block. Maybe very late game if you can risk it. I know that there's at least one card in the deck that just automatically puts a card from your deck onto Operation Zero Tolerance. Nothing you can do to avoid it. I think there's only one. So let's hope we never see that. To go over Colossus himself, so Pyotr Rasputin, recovery of 4, set up, search your deck for a copy of Organic Steel and add it to your hand. So ideally you'll have a 7-card starting hand. Aspiring Artist response, after you change this form, shuffle a Colossus card from your discard pile into your deck. And on our hero side, we have a thwart of 1, an attack of 2, and a defense of 2. Colossus can have 1 additional tough status card, Steel Skin response. After you change this form, give Colossus a tough status card. So tough is very important. I should point out 6 hand size, 4 hand size. Yuck, nasty. I mean, there's lots of ways to draw more, but he's not exactly rich in card resources during the game. And 14 hit points, as I said. So he's pretty beefy in that way. Okay, we're going to get shuffled up and ready to go. We will be right back with the Colossus versus Project WIDEAWAKE. All right, we're back. We're shuffled up and ready to go. Our 6 cards are Armor Up, Bait and Switch, Steel Fist, Iron Will, Bulletproof Protector, and Strength. Okay, so don't really need Iron Up. Armor Up, Bait and Switch would be excellent for us. Steel Fist, not yet. Iron Will is fantastic. +2 thwart, and then after a tough status card is discarded from Colossus, draw a card. So good. Maybe keeping Bulletproof Protector. I think actually yes in this case. And Strength for sure. So we're going to keep these and draw 2. Perseverance, Utopia. Okay. And then we go looking for Organic Steel. There's one. Okay. So, Utopia is going to be very good for us because on this turn, we're going to be able to get one of our allies. So, we're going to start with Utopia. We are going to put out Iron Will. We're going to flip over, get a tough. Now we have a thwart of 2. We are going to bait and switch. Oh, bait and switch does not work as the way I thought it did, does it? So bait and switch, the villain attacks you, remove 4 threat from the main scheme. Ah, it's not the main scheme, is it? So let's roll that back a second. We're instead going to spend that for perseverance when we change. So now we're tough. Unfortunately, now we're not going to be able to get an ally out this turn. But so be it. So we are, however, going to thwart 2 off of abduction protocols. One, two, three, 4. Yeah, bait and switch. I think I may have interpreted that incorrectly previously. Good thing I just spotted it. So we have Hard Knocks, Powerful Punch, Steel Fist, Nightcrawler. Okay, so Nightcrawler is excellent for us. So Sentinel's going to attack. He's attacking for 3. 5 knocks off a tough. We draw a card because of Iron Will. We get Organic Steel. Oh, forgot, of course, to put the threat out. Encounter card. Flipped alter ego form. Choose to exhaust. And remove Homesick from the game. Ugh. Or discard this card and each tough status card from your identity, which would draw us another card. If you discarded no tough status cards this way, this card gains search. Yeah, I need to actually get threat off, so I don't want to do that this turn. So we're going to discard this card and each tough status card from your identity. So it's fine. But by doing that, we draw another card. So Bulletproof Protector, Nightcrawler, Steel Fist, Powerful Punch, Hard Knocks, Organic Steel. Okay, so first thing to do, we're going to thwart the abduction protocols. Our victory cards, so they go away, and we get ourselves an ally. That's going to be Cannonball, which is going to trigger Utopia, so we stand up again. Let's see. Do we Organic Steel? No, I think we just go for getting Jubilee out of here. It's that, and then we play out. Gonna hold on to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nightcrawler. We're gonna have Nightcrawler thwart. Which gives us Jubilee. We are going to have... It's not the best thing that he does, but we're going to have Cannonball thwart. And we'll have Jubilee do the 2 damage that it takes to get rid of the tough. She suffers no consequential because that's an action. So, okay, that was all right. We're going to hang on to Steel Fist just in case we have a nasty surprise show up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. 3. So, bait and switch, Shadow and Steel, subdue. All right. He's going to attack. I think We're going to actually spend that to subdue him, so he's at a attack of 3. So we take 2. Counter card. He's going to attack, and then we'll just take it. 3, 4. It's down to 8. It's back to us. We'll have Nightcrawler thwart. We'll have Cannonball attack for 2. We will have Jubilee do 2 damage. We're going to hang on to Steel Fist still. We're going to flip down. We're going to heal to go back up to 12. We're going to put a card back. I think we want our organic steels back. And ready up and draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Powerful punch, bait and switch, armor up, titanium muscles, organic steel, steel fist. Okay. Yeah, I think we're in a good shape, especially with armor up. Okay. Just gonna scheme. Now, question is here, do we let him? I think we're sort of safe to do so. 2, 3, and we have to exhaust. Counter card, touch the villain, gets plus 8 hit points. Need to spend 3 energy resources to get rid of it. So he's a super healthy, armored up Sentinel. Okay. So, we're going to flip over. Get our tough card. We're going to use armor up and powerful punch to pay for titanium muscles for those extra resources. No organic steel and 4. I think. I want to bait and switch to get that off. I would draw a card. But I can't spend it. Tough choice here. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to bait and switch. So he attacks, so it's attack of 3. We're stunned again, or again, but we're stunned. But gets rid of the tough. We draw a card. We get rid of the threat. We're going to play out organic steel for future turns. We're going to hang on to these two just for the time being. One, two, three, four. Perseverance, Hard Knocks, Subdue, Shadowcat. Okay. Scheme goes on. He's going to attack. He's attacking for 3. We're just going to take it. Take 3. Encounter card. Attach the villain. The villain gains retaliate 1 an additional scheme. All right. All right, so we're going to get the stun off. We're going to have Shadowcat come in. Just going to trigger Utopia, so we're going to stand up again. We're going to have Jubilee thwart for 1, and then Shadowcat and Cannonball attack for 4. I think we're going to flip down and heal again. Back up to 13. And put a card back. We want to get rid of the scheme. Is there any Colossus cards that are genius? No. Let's put strength back. No, it has to be, after I just said that, I said it has to be a Colossus card. So we're going to choose Armor Up. One, two, three, four, five, 6. This is a bit risky, but... Oh, yes, okay. We'll be able to get rid of Learning AI. Do we have Armor Up? No. Okay. Just going to scheme for 3. So that's 5. Top card goes here. Goes into Zero Tolerance. Encounter card. When choose, place the top card of your deck face down under Operation Zero Tolerance, which not what we want to. The villain and minion engaged with you attacks you, even if you were in alter ego form. Yeah, you know what? He can attack. That's fine. So 3, 4, 5. So 8. Down to 8. Okay. So, do we heal? I think we do. So we go back up to 12. We flip over. We got our tough card. But we're going to use... our Perseverance to get 2. We do a lot more here than I thought. 1, 2, 3 for the X-Jet. And then use the X-Jet in Genius. So I'm not at this stage getting rid of Learning AI, but we have Professor X out now. So I'm going to have him... Oh, sorry, Utopia allows us to ready. We're going to put a confuse on the Sentinel. We're going to thwart. And we're going to have Jubilee and Kitty Pryde attack. And we're going to attack for 3, since we have our increased strength now. Okay. And Professor X is going to go away at the end of the round. 1, 2, 3, 4. Powerful Punch, Steel Fist, Power Protection, Made of Rage. Okay. So, scheme. He's going to attack. Attack for 3, 6. Gets rid of a tough, but that triggers Organic Steel to put the tough back on. Iron Will allows us to draw cards. Now we have Armor Up. Counter card, Sentinel Mark V. When revealed, if targeted for elimination is attached to your identity. Sentinel Mark V attacks you. Otherwise, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the targeted for elimination attachment and reveal it. Okay. Targeted for elimination. So, attach your identity. If it while you are engaged with a Sentinel, you cannot change from hero form to alter ego form. Action, exhaust your identity, discard this card. Okay. So we're targeted for elimination. Well, I think that sort of aggression calls for a Steel Fist to punch the Mark V. So it's 5 hit points. So there it goes. Oh yeah, I forgot. We could discard here to get rid of unwanted extra hit points, or we can just zap them. Kind of feel like I want to get rid of adaptive armor. So 1, 2, 3 to get rid of it. We're going to use Made of Rage to zap for 2. Oh yeah. Getting rid of that means he dropped 8 hit points, so he was down to 4. And then now down to 2. We have an armor up, so we're sort of safe if we flip down. We're going to exhaust to get rid of targeted for elimination. We're going to flip down, which is going to get rid of our status cards. We're going to put a card back, which I feel is going to be It's going to be Shadow Cat. It's going to go back. We're going to hang on to armor up. Stand back up. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. Counter card. Okay. Armor up. Peter Studio. Hard Knocks. Energy. Shadow Cat. Bait and switch. Okay. So he's going to scheme. He's going to activate. I am going to use armor up. Got a tough card. So now he's going to attack. He's attacking for 3. 4, pings off the tough. Get the tough back with organic steel. Draw a card off of Iron Will. Cannonball. Nice to see you. First encounter card. Gauntlet Beam. Attached to the villain. The villain's attacks gain piercing and ranged. That's not a nice thing. We don't like that. Second one. Abduction Protocols. Okay. Well. Can we get rid of Gauntlet Beam? I think we can, actually. Yep. So, X-Jet, Titanium Muscles, and Hard Knocks. Gets rid of it. We're going to thwart. We're going to bring out one, two, three. We're going to bring out Shadow Cat. It's going to trigger Utopia, so we're going to stand up again. We're going to thwart. Let's see who we get this time. It's going to be Boom Boom. We don't have to spend Cannonball for any reason now. We don't have the resources to do it right now, so I might as well hang on to them. We're going to use Bait and Switch to do the last 2 damage to the Sentinel. So he's Stalwart and he has Tough. So the Confuse is going to drop off since he can never be confused again. Shadow Cat's going to thwart. Boom Boom will attack to ping off the Tough and to put a bomb counter on the Sentinel. And he has a grand total of 22 health now. We're going to hang on to Cannonball because he's going to be real useful for us. 1, 2, 3. Perseverance, Nightcrawler, Maid of Rage. Okay. So, scheme. He's going to attack. 3, 4, 5. Pings off the tough. We draw a card. Steel Fist. Oh, forgot the bomb going off. Bang. Encounter card. Sentinel Mark 2. It's going to gain Surge. Villain and each minion engaged attacks us. Oof. I kind of feel we're just going to take it. So 3 plus nothing, but we're stunned. So we're going to take a total of 5, so we're down to 7. Okay. So we're going to get the stun off ourselves. We're going to bring out bring out Cannonball. Which is going to trigger Utopia. So we stand up again. Cannonball is going to take out the Sentinel. We're going to Steel Fist Sentinel. We'll have Boom Boom and Shadowcat attack for 3. Down to 12. And a bomb counter goes on. We're going to attack for 3. Take him down to 9. One, two, three, four, 5. Hard Knocks, Powerful Punch, Professor X, Steel Fist. Okay. So Sentinel's going to attack. Oh, so we got Scheme over here. He's going to attack. Now, he's got 9 left. I could Powerful Punch here in response, allowing me to defend and still do damage, which I think is probably what I'm going to do. So I'm going to defend. So he's a +1. So I take 3. Down to 4. But I'll play out Powerful Punch to hit him for 4. So he's down to 5. Encounter card. Sentinel Mark 4. Quick Strike. They'll hit me for 2. I don't really care. He doesn't have guard or patrol or anything. Oh, totally forgot the bomb going off as well. Yeah, so that's just going to be the end of him. I'm just going to spend these 2 to do a Steel Fist, and it takes out the Sentinel. So yeah, all right. I find that by the time you're in a position to flip the Sentinel to stage 3, you're usually in good shape to really give them a beat down. So the tricky part is getting through the early parts of stage 2 because of the amount of accelerate there is out there. I think we got sort of lucky there too. Like, we didn't have a whole bunch of Sentinels all coming out at the same time. We were able to deal with the resources that we had to get anything out. And we had the core of what we needed. Utopia was an excellent 41st card choice in this deck because it did exactly what we needed it to do. Gave us lots of extra ways of dealing with problems. And of course, getting Iron Will out early on was fantastic for card draw. So I'm pretty pleased with how that went. So Sentinel has been defeated by Colossus and, of course, his closest allies, Jubilee, Shadowcat, Boom Boom, and Cannonball. So, hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you have any thoughts about this game. If I did anything wrong, please let me know there too. And until next time, happy gaming. Thank you so much for watching Longship Gaming. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It will really help the channel to grow and improve. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when more Longship Gaming content goes live. Until next time, happy gaming.